The human body rarely fails all at once. Instead, it communicates its true condition through quiet, everyday signals that are easy to ignore until they become impossible to miss. We usually measure getting older by the simple accumulation of birthdays, but beneath the surface, a completely different timeline is unfolding, driven by cellular changes that have little to do with the calendar on the wall. This hidden biological clock explains why two people who share the exact same birth year can move, feel, and function in entirely different ways. When we write off every ache or bout of fatigue as a normal part of getting older, we blind ourselves. We start accepting a gradual decline and miss highly actionable warning signs that our systems need support. Learning to translate these biological whispers before they turn into shouts is how we protect our long-term physical independence and ultimately our quality of life. Physical decline usually begins with a slow drop in efficiency across interconnected systems inside the body, rather than a sudden, isolated failure. The first signal of this systemic drop often registers as a persistent lack of energy. Everyone feels tired occasionally, but a chronic drain is different. It actively suppresses your motivation, pulling you away from physical activity and making daily tasks feel harder to start. The drivers behind this persistent drain are often the physical weight of accumulated psychological stress and a gradual reduction in daily movement, both of which steadily deplete your energy reserves. That lack of movement feeds directly into a second signal. Everyday activities begin to generate friction. A familiar flight of stairs feels a bit steeper, or a standard bag of groceries seems heavier than it did a year ago. This chart compares physical capacity over time. The steep downward curve represents ignored muscle conditioning, while the elevated curve shows capacity preserved through maintenance. What feels like a permanent loss of strength is often just a reversible loss of routine conditioning. By dismissing this daily friction and chronic fatigue as inevitable, we allow minor, entirely reversible physical losses to compound. Over time, they grow into genuine threats to our independence. Beyond muscle strength, the body relies heavily on complex internal coordination and precise nighttime repair cycles. When these systems drift, a third signal emerges. Physical balance begins to feel slightly less stable, prompting us to move much more cautiously over uneven surfaces. Stability requires your vision, nervous system, and muscles to collaborate, rapidly sending spatial data to the brain for processing. When signals face a lag, the brain intentionally slows the body down. This hesitation directly compensates for delayed internal communication. This internal inefficiency often extends into the night, leading to a fourth signal, sleep that no longer feels refreshing. This can first show up as fragmented rest, where you find yourself frequently and inexplicably waking up in the dark. It also presents as a frustrating paradox, spending an adequate number of hours in bed, yet waking up feeling deeply exhausted. Poor sleep quality directly interrupts the body's systemic repair crew, halting the essential recovery work that is supposed to happen while we are unconscious. When that overnight repair is compromised, the fifth and final signal appears. It simply takes longer to recover from physical exertion. A weekend project or a long walk might result in muscle soreness that lingers for days longer than it used to. Following those fatiguing events, your overall energy reserves return at a much more gradual pace. To rebuild cellular tissue after exertion, the body requires intensely focused rest and specific nutritional building blocks. Without them, microscopic damage stays damaged longer. Prolonged exhaustion and physical instability are not permanent life sentences. They are vital alarms, signaling that your internal repair systems are struggling and desperately need external support. Because these biological symptoms are so closely tied to our habits, they are highly responsive to how we choose to live each day. Active restoration begins with daily movement. Routine physical actions like daily stretching or light gardening or going for a walk work directly to counteract friction and restore lost muscle conditioning. To guarantee the body's overnight repair process remains uninterrupted, we have to deliberately construct consistent, comfortable environments dedicated to restorative sleep. Recovery also requires the right materials. Eating balanced meals, particularly those rich in whole foods and reliable protein sources, provides the raw components required for rapid physical repair. Just as importantly, we have to protect the body's internal battery. Managing psychological stress, whether through spending time outdoors or staying socially connected with community, is a biological necessity, not a luxury. It is tempting to look for dramatic, exhausting lifestyle overhauls to fix everything at once. But the scientific reality is that meaningful, lasting improvement comes from small actions repeated consistently. Healthy aging is not a desperate attempt to freeze time. It is a daily commitment to supporting your body's systems, ensuring you remain strong, capable, and fiercely engaged with life.
Remember, life after 50 isn't about slowing down. It's about living stronger, healthier, and happier. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. This is Longevity After 50. Adding life to years, one step at a time.